So pangalawang step ito mga kababayan. At malamang sa malamang, matapos na maubos ang binigay sa kanilang due process, a legal action will be taken against them. Just like Harry Roque, wanted na po. Tinaganap ng Kongreso, nagtatago hanggang ngayon, nasira yung buhay. Ngayon yung mga vlogger po na patawa-tawa, tingnan na lang ninyo yung sinapit ni Atty. Harry Roque na isang abogado yon. Abogado na yon. Kayo pa, na most of you, other than yung iilan doon, lad ni Trixie Angeles. Ito naman po yung bago naming product na binibenta online. iGlow Serum Whitening po siya. Tingnan ninyo yung epekto sa aking anak na architect before and now. Yung mga inquiries po ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa kanyang Facebook account, Riz Maravillas. O bukas mga kababayan, magkakasubukan uli. Bagay niya Mr. Maravillas. Yung House Tricom po, Tri-Committee, despite the House break, tuloy ang hearing po bukas, Tuesday, sa mga fake news peddlers. Ako tingin ko mga kababayan, pag hindi pa sila nagpakita bukas, matutulad talaga sila kay Attorney Harry Roque, naging puganti po, at naging kaawa-awa ngayon mga kababayan yung itsura ni Attorney. Yan na siya ngayon. Hindi na halos makapag-ahit mga kababayan makapag-ayos ng kanyang sarili. Oh. Tingnan ninyo, hindi na yata makatulog. Grabe yung pinangayayat mga kababayan ni Roque. Iyan kasi, tahimik na sana yung kanyang buhay, mga kababayan. Pinili niya yung magulong buhay. At itong mga fake news peddlers, ganon din po ang posibleng kalalagyan. Yan ang balita ngayon. How will bloggers react this time? House Tricom sets second hearing on February 18. Bukas po. Sabi naman sa report ng ABS-CBN, House Tricom to take up show cause orders against influencers, bloggers. Titigas kasi ng ulo ninyo. O ngayon, tanggal yung pagiging maisog ninyo. Tanggal yung lahat ng yabang ninyo. O diba? Sabi dito sa balita, despite the ongoing election campaign period and congressional recess, the so-called House Tricom Committee or Tri-Committee or Tricom has scheduled its second hearing on the spread of disinformation and fake news online. Bukas mga kababayan. Pero anya Mr. Maravillas, wala pa ring tigil sila sa pagpapakalat ng disinformation, propaganda, fake news. Yan nga po ang rason kung bakit tuloy ang trabaho ng Congress para i-address ito pong widespread na pagpapakalat po ng disinformation and fake news. Kasi apektado yung stability ng ating bansa. Lalo yung iba po, malala, nanggagatong na po ng revolusyon. Sabi ni Barbers, during the first hearing, may isa niya dyan na vlogger. Araw-araw na nananawagan ng pag-alsa. Yun ang turo mga kababayan ng leader nila, manggulo. So sabi dito sa balita, to be tackled are the responses to the cause or show cause orders issued to several social media personalities and bloggers who failed to appear during the first hearing noong February 4. O ngayon, para po maintindihan natin kung anong ibig sabihin ng show cause order, ito yung paliwanag ng Respicio and Company Law Firm. Sabi dito, understanding a show cause order in the Philippines. Ano ba siya? Ang show cause order is a legal directive issued by a court or a regulatory authority in the Philippines. In this case, mga kababayan, yung House of Representatives, kasama ito sa kanyang power in aid of legislation, requiring an individual or entity to explain or justify why they should not face a specific action or penalty. This order is often issued when there is a potential violation of law, regulation, or court order. In this case, mga kababayan, yung pagpapalaganap ng fake news and possible libelous utterances or violation ng cyber law, cyber crime law. Inabuso po ng mga social media personalities. Walang code of ethics po na ino-observe sila. Banat lang po ng banat. Karamihan kasi po, parang yung mga kandidatong dinescribe ni President Bongbong Marcos, na galit po yung PDP laban candidates. Kasi sabi ng ating Pangulo, yung kabila niya, hindi makakumpleto ng lineup. Yung iba niya, binabili lang niya ng suka, nabigyan ng certificate of candidacy. Galit na galit si Bato. Nabigyan na ng certificate of candidacy. Pinabili lang ng suka. Sa amin, ganun din ang biruan, mga kababayan. Marami sa hanayan niya. Sa mainstream media noon, pinabili lang ng suka, naging broadcaster na. Naging reporter. Ang ibig sabihin niya, wala man lang proper training sa journalism. Basta inalaw na lang, in this case mga kababayan, sa social media vlogging. Kaya nangyari po, naging toxic yung social media. Lahat naging mga political analyst po. Basta't may cellphone po, may internet, solve na. Bira dito, bira doon. Mura rito, mura doon. Kasi yung akala nila, nasusukat yung galing mga kababayan sa pagmumura, pagiging maisog, para viral. Hindi man po ganon ang dapat na panuntunan. Ito yung gustong itama ng ating Congress. Kasi apektado po yung ating bansa, yung ating mga mamamayan, hindi na maintindihan kung anong paniniwalaan pong totoo. Lahat pa naman po nagki-claim na silang totoo. May isa nga po, ang source daw niya, puting ahas. Saan nga nakakita? Sabi ko nga, naniwala ka sa source na puting ahas? Doon pa lang mga kababayan sa pangalan na ahas, paano ka magtitiwala sa ahas? O, diba? Ahas nga eh. Pag sinabing ahas, hindi po credible ang sasabihin ng ahas. Di bang tumukso at nagsinungaling, nag-deceive kay Eva at kay Adan? Ahas, paanong naging credible ang ahas, mga kababayan, na simbolo and another name for Satan? Di ba? Anyway, yung vlogger na ang source niya puting ahas, kasama yon sa ipinatawag at hindi nag-appear. At malamang with this second hearing, palapit ng palapit, na matulad sila, hindi lang siya, the rest of the vloggers. Matulad sa kinainatnan ni Harry Roque, naging pugante. O ngayon, sabi dito, upon receiving a show cause order, the recipient must respond in writing within the specified time frame, presenting reasons or evidence to avoid the proposed action. Failure to respond adequately may result in penalties, sanctions, or other legal consequences as determined by the issuing authority. This process is fundamental aspect of due process, ensuring that parties have the opportunity to be heard before any adverse action is taken. So, pangalawang step ito, mga kababayan. At malamang sa malamang, matapos na maubos ang binigay sa kanilang due process, a legal action will be taken against them. Just like Harry Roque, wanted na po, tinaganap ng Kongreso, nagtatago hanggang ngayon, nasira yung buhay. Ngayon yung mga vlogger po na patawa-tawa, tingnan na lang ninyo yung sinapit ni Atty. Harry Roque na isang abogado yon. Abogado na yon. Kayo pa, na most of you, other than yung iilan doon, tulad ni Trixie Angeles, sino pa ba? Ayan yung mga si Glenn Chong, abogado. Si Trixie Angeles. Ayan ito hindi mga abogado. Si Alan Troy sa Sotrugando. Mark Anthony Lopez, hindi man ito mga abogado. Si Lorraine Marie Badoy. Si Jeffrey Celis. Mary Catherine Binag. Elizabeth Joey Cruz. Elmer Hugalbot. Ernesto Abines. Ethel Pineda. Garcia, George Ahmed Paglinawan, yung kapartner ito ni Trixie Angeles sa page niya. Mary Jane Kiambao Reyes, Richard Tesoro Mata, doktor ito. Susan Batalla, Vivian Zapata, Rodriguez, hindi na natin ito kilala. Aaron Peña, Alex Distor. Ito si Tio Moreno yata itong Alex Distor. Alven Montero, Claire Eden Contreras, si Maharlika ito po. Claro Ganak, Darwin Salceda, Jeffrey Cruz, Jonathan Morales, Julius Milanosi Maui, Kister Ramon, Jan Balibostan, ito yung real talker na napakayabang. Manuel Mata Jr. in others. Yan po mga kababayan, napakayayabang kasi. Manang-mana sa idol nilang leader, napakayabang. Ang latest ngayon, nag-joke naman po ng papatayin na lang daw yung mga senador. O ngayon, kanina, na-take up siya sa press con. Pakinggan natin yung press con ng Congress. Ayan po, mga kababayan, si Congressman Rods Gutierrez, One Rider. Tapos si Adjong Lanao del Sur, Alonto Adjong, 1st District Congressman.
Hi, good morning po, Kong Zia, Kong Rog. Unahin ko lang po kasi naka-calendar na nasa house calendar na sa website yung TRICOM hearing bukas. May I just ask, ano po yung susunod na magiging hakbang ng House TRICOM kaya sakaling magpatuloy nga hindi pagdalo ng social media influencers and vloggers na nauna ng hinaina ng show cause order ng committee? And just to highlight, bakit po ba mahalaga yung pakilahok nila dito nga sa nagpapatuloy na investigasyon?
Meron natang show cause order na those invited guests who did not appear in the second committee hearing. So if there's no valid reason for their absence again this time, baka umakyat na yan sa siya nag-show cause order and then baka isupina na sila. I think the issue that the TRICOM is now discussing is very much important kasi ang age po natin talaga ngayon is its information technology and we are using the internet as a space to exchange ideas and inputs. And sometimes, lalo na pag ganitong campaign period, talaga nagagamit ito to propagate fake news. I think all of us should agree that we need to regulate this, the dissemination of malinformation, disinformation. And the invited guests who are supposed to appear in last committee hearings are very active in the online discourse. And we hope that we can get some inputs that they might like to share to the committee so that we can formulate a much enabling law that would really reflective of the need to regulate itong open space in the internet. So, sa akin lang, it's not really an issue. There's no reason for them to skip again the committee hearing dahil ito naman ay pinapakinggan naman natin ng lahat ng punto. No? Hindi naman we're not actually running after these bloggers. We just hope that we can give them the proper venue where they can actually share their inputs and so that we can also propose a legislation in order to regulate, to counter the propagation of this hindi mo mapulis na paglaganap ng malinformation and disinformation. Why is it important? Because democracy should be based on the information should be based on actual facts. We have to provide the public with accurate information so that they can derive a well-meaning opinion. Hindi dapat based on something that isn't true. So I think that is the very anathema of how we uphold democracy. Kung ang mali ang impormasyon, mali talaga ang magiging opinion ng bawat tao, and that would reflect on the kind of system that we would have in the coming days or in the coming years.
I think nabanggit naman po ni Chairman Adjong most of the points, no. I agree that yung ating mga vloggers that did not attend, show cause order naman po yung na-issue, and there would be other remedies later on, like subpoena, should they choose not to attend. But we really do feel that importante po na mag-attend po sila, kasi nga po yung pinag-uusapan po dito ay yung I think lahat naman po tayo ay magsasang-ayon na masama naman po talaga yung fake news, misinformation, malinformation. Kasi nga po, even kahit magkabilang panig po tayo kung ano-ano mga bagay, kung politika for example, no one can agree naman po na good for the country ang fake news. Relying on such tactics po talagang it's to no benefit to anyone. As we saw nga po sa previous hearing, kahit po there are personalities admittedly have different opinions on things. I believe it was a Chair Ace and there was a private person there, si Ms. Tikia, I think. And they had a productive discussion po, which was helpful to the committee. It was very enlightening. So I think we have to reiterate po yung aming imbitasyon sa mga vloggers na ito, yung mga other personalities that were invited, that we're just looking for a proper discourse. Especially in consideration, why I think it's important is that we're already touching on the surface yung tinatawag na foreign interference. Nabanggit po ito by one of the resource persons, I think it was Press One, na there was a link between misinformation and allegedly Chinese-owned accounts, Chinese backing. There is allegedly a link between Chinese backing of misinformation in the West Philippine Sea and political campaigns for certain individuals in the country. So I think dun palang very important. I think another issue that we have to discuss thoroughly sa TRICOM is yung commercialization po ng vloggers. Freedom of speech, understandable po yun. It's a right of everyone. Pero pag binibenta mo na po yung iyong salita para sa salapi, di ba? If you are selling your opinion to the highest bidder, and if that highest bidder is a foreign entity, I think there should be some limitations. There should be some punitive actions po, no, in relation to that. And I think that's why especially important in TRICOM. The problem with the previous, in past years, masyadong nasanay po yung tao sa fake news. Nasanay na po tayo sa hyperbole. Nasanay na po tayo sa pagbibiro na we can't take anything seriously anymore. So that's one more thing. We have to be accountable for our words. I think yun lang po yung bottom line ng TRICOM. Yun na po.
Okay. And another question lang po, speaking, may mga nabanggit na kayong China, politika. Tanong ko lang din po sana yung reaksyon nyo dun sa mga naging matapang na pahayag ni Pangulong Marcos sa campaign rally ng Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas sa Carmen, Davao del Norte, kung saan na hinikayat niya yung mga kandidato ng administrasyon na sinabi niya ngang walang bahid ng dugo ng mga biktima ng EJK at hindi sunod-sunuran sa China. Hinikayat din ng presidente yung mga botante na wag hayaang bumalik muli ang bansa sa panahon ng dilim at lagim na tila tumutukay sa nakaraang administrasyon. Na ayon mismo sa Pangulo ay pumayag na gawin umano nga probinsya ng China ang Pilipinas. Ibinugaw ang ating bayan bilang sugalan ng mga dayuhan at hinayaang umapaw ang dugo ng mga inosenteng mga bata na inagawa ng kinabukasan dahil sa kanilang pagpatay. Ano pong masasabi niyo dun?
Ako po, I think we welcome those remarks. Personally, gaya ng sinabi po natin in the last press con, it's about time po naging issue-based po tayo, especially for elections. Hindi na po tayo personality politics. During the last time that we had this discussion, I believe yung pinag-usapan natin dito ay kung ano yung stance po ng senador tungkol sa impeachment complaint. And now we have brought to the fore other issues po. No? Ano ang stance ng ating mga senador sa EJK? Ano ang stance ng ating mga senador sa China, sa West Philippine Sea? And I think it's a good thing. It is well appreciated po siguro na na-highlight po ito ng ating presidente. I'm not saying po no that it should resort to, kasi yung iba po, based on those statements, may nagsasabi na smear campaign. I don't think it's smear campaign when we're just talking about issues po, no? We're talking about issues. How do these candidates feel about these issues? Where do they stand? So, I think it's very important now na sa taong bayan, dapat maalala po natin yung mga issue na ito kapag nagboboto na po ito. We have to consider po where their stance. General statements naman po yun, but they are powerful statements. I think it really highlights po the need to really look into their credentials, not just yung achievements, but their stances po rin po talaga. So personally, unfortunately, nagiging malaking headliner po yan, Team Pilipinas versus Team China. And syempre doon tayo sa Team Pilipino, di ba? Team Pilipinas tayo. So, suriin po talaga natin kung ano po talaga yung stance natin. There will be a lot of campaign promises. There will be a lot of statements na he said, she said. But at the end of the day, saan po talaga sila talagang nakatayo? Yun po, I guess, yung issue doon.
But in addition to that, I think the president is coming from a position where the effects of these bad policies, the effects of this are still, we still continue to feel it. No? Being the president, meron naman siyang access doon sa nagyari na mga policy na hindi talaga epektibo. So I think that's where the president wants to be very clear about it, na there are certain issues and policies before that we've, up to now, nakikita natin yung effects, yung effect ng West Philippine Sea, the aggression of China against our fishermen, at sa Coast Guard, the effect of the POGO in the previous administration, ngayon, hanggang ngayon, niraramdaman natin yon. So I think the president wants to track a direction where these senators these possible senators, at mga candidates, would have to really draw the line whether they want to pursue his administration's policies of, number one, we can curb illegal drugs and illegal syndicate without even making so many bodies lifeless in the streets. There are certain policies that we can implement without necessarily resorting to violence. That's number one. Where do you stand on this ground? Number two, when it comes to the incursion of China, where do you stand on this ground? Would you be for the Philippines and protecting the integrity of the country? Or where do you be koto to the Chinese incursions? So I think this is a very clear position where the president wants to educate the public that, the effects of the past policies of the past administration hanggang ngayon nararamdaman natin, and we're doing so much to addressing those questions. So ako naniniwala ako dun sa stand ngayon ng presidente na sa panahon ngayon ang politika hindi dapat tama nga yung sinabi ni Kong Rog, hindi dapat siya personality based. The people should be given information, in the accurate information, so that they can decide on their own, not based on which person they would prefer to see there in the Senate, but based on the candidates' stand on certain important national issues.
Opo, and sorry, last na po, Kong Sia. Just a quick follow-up. You have a statement din po kahapon about, just to have it on record, can you just please elaborate your statement na NBI should look into former President Duterte's kill threat against senators?
Well, it's so disheartening, for public officials, especially those who have served as our president, to say these things, to threaten, say na mas madali lang sabihin na patayin na lang natin yung mga senators. In the past, we've heard him threatening illegal pushers, drug syndicates, etc. Napatahin itong mga illegal drug lords, tsaka mga illegal pushers. But he mentioned that he made those threats in the context of the war against drugs, to curb, to free our streets from the illegal drugs syndicate. But this time it was said in a context where he has candidates, and there are also candidates on the other side running for the same position. So medyo hindi siya, para sa akin, it's really it should concern all of us, because hindi dapat man normalize yung salita na patayin, or even sa mga, if you go to mga airports na...
Parang nakinig talaga sa atin mga kababayan si Adyong. Parehas na parehas yung punto namin. Normalizing violence. O, di ba? Tama po siya. Yung paggamit ng violence, kahit po joke, hindi dapat yun dino-joke. Kasi yan isang pamamaraan to normalize violence. Yung pagpatay parang isang laro na lang para kay Digong. Balikan natin si Adyong. Maganda yung kanyang paliwanag.
Hindi ka naman talaga po pwedeng mag-bomb joke yung bomb threat na jokes, kasi
Yes.
automatically you'll be, mapupusasan ka. How much more, for example, for say that out in the public? But it's the issue really. My point that I'm trying to drive at is if you are if you're an individual who enjoys or wields a certain influence, you have to be more circumspect about what you say because people, those your followers, may think it na seryoso ka. That's why pag sinasabi na joke, when will it end? We don't know which one is joke and which one is not. So I think we have to be
Correct.
more more circumspect about how we say things out in the public, especially if the occasion calls for a choosing of new leaders in the country. So yun yung aking position doon at pananaw na hindi dapat agad-agaran natin ma-normalize at ma-trivialize yung mga threat na dali-dalian mo lang sabihin, pumatay or patayin.
Tama po.
Thank you, Mela. Up next, we have a question from Elson Kismorio of Manila Bulletin.
Hello, Kongs. Good morning po. My goodness. Reaction lang po, according to the latest results of the Tangere survey, 73% of Filipinos daw would prefer na humarap si Vice President Duterte sa impeachment trial. So that's like 3 out of 4 Pinoys. Your thoughts po?
Po, I think it's a true reflection na lang po, no, siguro. Nandiyan na, may survey na po na that doesn't speak po siguro on the support or not of the impeachment. It just really speaks about the trial itself. At kung ang gusto ng taong bayan ay magkaroon na tayo ng trial. The issues are very clear, the questions are clear, and I think all we need now are the answers and the proper venue that they have always sought. As mentioned before, these issues, hindi po yan bago sa atin. We've had our hearings in the budget. Hindi naman po na we were not afforded the opportunity with the appearance and the answer. We had our good government committee. Didn't afford us also yung appearance and answer. Not the proper venue daw po. When it came to the Quad Committee and questions on certain aspects of the EJK, did not appear, or when she appeared, hindi po the proper venue. It chose not to take the oath. All of these roundabout ways, only to say po na parang hindi po yung proper venue. Ngayon po, we have the opportunity. An impeachment court is the proper venue. 73% of the Filipinos agree that this is the venue. Dapat na po siyang tumayo dito and to answer these allegations and to finally put to rest all of these allegations. Whether ako, personally, of course, as part of the prosecution, I believe in this case. I believe na that we can establish guilt. But for most of the Filipino people, whether we succeed in establishing guilt or not, at least to clear the air already po, stand and be answerable for this. And I don't know if that survey would have any effect kasi as it stands, nakalimbo pa po tayo, hindi po nako-convene yung impeachment court. But I think that's just to be expected po yung survey results. Wala namang may gusto na may tanong na hindi na isasagot po, no? I think it's very clear to the Filipino people and we want answers. Yun lang po.
In addition to that, I think in the bar of public opinion, it validates why the House of Representatives says all the members of the prosecution that it has to be the impeachment trial has to proceed, no? As what the framers of the constitutions say, no? There's a difference between how do we quantify, how we define in actual term, no, in actual timeline, yung word na forthwith, no. I think the framers of the Constitution, as supported by this 73 survey, says that impeachment trial is so important that it has to proceed without any delay. So nagsasabi lang yan, it only validates what the Constitution says na forthwith without any delay. Again, but again, we still maintain our position that the House of Representatives with our prosecutors will work according to the timeline that would be set by the Senate once they convert the institution itself into a impeachment court.
73% mga kababayan sa Tangere ang nagsasabi sa ating mga kababayan, ituloy na immediately ang impeachment trial laban kay Sara Duterte. So a lot of pressure now sa Senado, sa pamumuno ni Chis Escudero. May petition na po yung isang abogado sa Supreme Court. May result pa, mga kababayan, ng survey para ituloy na ang impeachment trial. Simulan na agad ang impeachment trial. Yun ang gusto ng ating mga mamamayang Pilipino. 73%. Sa mga naghanap ng malinis and spacious fitness gym, pumunta lang po kayo sa aming Colossal Fitness Gym. We also offer Grab Car Rental with our brand new 2023 model ng Toyota Innova. We also accept booking for those who are planning to travel via PAL, Cebu Pacific, and other airline companies, local and international, and bills payment for Meralco Bills, PLDT, Aleco Bills, etc. Ang Colossal Fitness Gym is located at 3rd floor Security Bank Building, Landco Business Park, Legazpi City, Albay. For inquiries, look for Chilon Maravillas. Contact number 0966-802-0949. Yan yung aming Innova. Lagi na pong matao sa amin. Pati mga foreigners po, tingnan ninyo. Mga British tourists sila. Ang lalaki ng katawan na, mga kababayan, nag-gym sa amin. Ito naman po, Indian National. Ito mga mga European sila. Ito naman yung bago naming product na binibenta online, Eye Glow Serum. Whitening po siya galing sa South Korea. Tingnan ninyo yung epekto sa aking anak na architect entrepreneur, Riz Maravillas. For inquiries, look for Riz Maravillas on FB. Ito naman po, Firmax Framing and Lifting Cream. Pinapahid po ito sa mga pulses and affected area. Mainam po ito sa mga pains at paninigas na mga kasukasuan. Ito po, Automax Radiant Serum. Sa mukha naman yung application. Anti-aging po siya. You will look 10 years younger than your age. Sa mga cancer patients naman po, baka lang gusto ninyo itong itry. Nengxia Red Mix Fruit Drink. Hindi man po siya gamot, food supplement siya. Kaya lang, gawa siya mga kababayan sa goji berry. Yung goji berry may anti-cancer properties. Yung mga inquiries ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa aming messenger sa Facebook para masagot namin agad. Ayos po, ako po si Dante Maravillas. Bye-bye. God bless.